Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. As you can see, we are once again drafting Bloomburrow here on the channel. And we're going to dive right into pack one, pick one with maybe an interesting one. I don't know exactly. We've got Hearthborn Battler, 3 mana, 2/3 haste. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, it deals 2 damage to your opponent. Pretty good. I mean, I don't know exactly how great this is. Red isn't among the best colors in this set, but it's pretty good. There's also a cash grab for squirrels. I don't think I've played squirrels yet on the channel. I've had some fun with squirrels at my LGS and off camera here, but I don't think I've played it yet on the channel. It is a very good and fun deck. Additionally, there is Splash Portal. This in Frogs is insane. You get some pawn profits, draw 2 cards, pretty good, and Star Charter for bats, which I think is a pretty good deck as well. I'm going to take the Battler here. Lizards isn't a deck I've drafted yet. Could wheel the Cindering Cutthroat here, or even the Sazakap's Brew. Kindlespark Duo is actually not horrible in Lizards either, but let's start with the Battler and see what we could go from there. Alright, now we've got Mockingbird. I really do not like blue in this format, but I think Mockingbird is pretty good. It's a flyer, and it can enter as a copy of any creature on the battlefield for the amount of mana you spent to cast it. But I just don't like blue really at all. We do have a 5 mana 4/2 trample that also has the act of treason text tacked onto it. I don't know if that's worth taking here necessarily. If I take Mockingbird, I'm probably looking to be in Frogs. Maybe Birds. I've tried out Birds and it's not the best of decks. I don't think the Reptilian Recruiter is very good though. I'm just going to take the Mockingbird. I don't think I'm going to miss a Reptilian Recruiter if that is the direction I end up going into. Alright, we've got another Hearthborn Battler. They're not legendary, that could be interesting. As well as Kitsa Otterball Elite. 2 mana 1/3 Vigilance Prowess can tap to loot. And you can also copy instants and sorceries. Well, that's pretty good. But I think just going down a red aggressive path is probably better than Kitsa. Is that even right? I don't like blue, but I mean, blue-red is horrible in this set. I haven't drafted it yet, but it is performing horrible, and whenever my opponents play it, it's just not been that great. And the Battler just seems pretty good. I don't think we wheel much out of this pack, but the Assassin could be a good wheel here. I just don't feel like getting into blue if I don't necessarily need to. Here's some more blue stuff, some green. There's a Sticky Tongue Sentinel for the Frogs deck with Mockingbird. We do already have 2 Hearthborn Battlers. Not a lot of Lizard stuff, but there is an Agate Assault. I think I can get away with taking the Agate Assault here over the Sticky Tongue Sentinel and just kind of stay red and feel out where to go from there. Another aggressive red card in Brazen Collector. There's a lot of blue here still, though. Into the Floodmaw bounces a creature. Long River's Pull counters a spell. Reveal top X. For each card type, you put exile a card from among them. Put the rest in your graveyard. You may cast a spell from among the exiled cards without paying its mana cost. I don't think that's very good. Finch Formation, not great either. Yeah, this pack is not very good. I don't know if I would play Brazen Collector in an aggressive blue or red-black deck. I don't think there's any blue cards here that would pull me away. If Kitsa was in this pack, I would definitely take Kitsa. But with another Hearthborn Battler against Kitsa, I think that's the reason I went with the Battler. Because I think it's just a better card. Teapot Slinger, 4 mana 3/4 Menace. Whenever you expend 4, it deals 2 damage. We could be dealing all kinds of damage to our opponents. Non-combat damage if we go with the Teapot Slinger. Alania's Pathmaker just seems like a pretty good, 2-for-1, 4 mana, 4/2. Kind of like draw a card. Everything else here is not that great. Calamitous Tide, just too expensive and too slow. Everything else just not great. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pathmaker. Another Brazen Collector, early winter, a little bit expensive, 3 tree mascot. I mean, we're just pretty much red for now. We could kind of be red anything. Red blue with Mockingbird, red black lizards with the Battler, red green raccoons just going big, red white aggressive. I mean, we can kind of be multiple different things here. So let's take another aggressive 2-drop. So many Junk Blade Bruisers. Playful Shove, 1 damage to any target, draw a card. Festival of Embers, no thank you. Maybe I just take the Bruiser here. I mean, there's Mind Spiral. I just don't think we need to be going into blue necessarily for that, even though we already have Mockingbird. There's a couple of red cards here. I guess I'll take the Bruiser over the Playful Shove. Okay, we are on the wheel now. We got a couple of green cards back. There's a Tempest Angler. Sazicap's Brew Kindlespark Duo. Is today the day we're supposed to draft blue-red? I mean, maybe. I'll take the Duo for now. Dazzling Denial. I don't think this is a share pot deck. Druid of the Spade. Also probably not. Both Light Shell Duos. Wheeled. Should we take the Rallier? I don't think so. I don't like blue-red, but it's certainly open right now. But then we see Iridescent Vine Lasher, 1 mana, 1/2, with Offspring 2. Whenever a land, so basically landfall, you deal a damage to your opponent. What else are we debating that against? Gossip Talent, so whenever a creature you control enters, you surveil 1. Whenever you attack, it can't be blocked, and whenever a creature deals combat damage to a player, you can blink it. Probably not. Rabid Gnaw's pretty good. Pretty good removal spell. There's another Tempest Angler. We're not even remotely in black. I again, like I've said, I don't like blue-red, but maybe today's the day to see if it's worth it. I guess I'll take the Rabid Gnaw over the Vine Lasher and hope that Lizards isn't open from this direction. All right, Eddie Merc Crab, that's a decent reason to be in blue-red as well. Maybe we wheel the Shore up. I mean, what's our non-creature count at? 5? Okay, I guess we're doing it. I guess we're doing the whole blue-red thing here today. Take the Pathmaker again, 4 mana, 4/2. Kind of like draw a card. There's Nocturnal Hunger, Star Charter, but I'll go ahead and take the Pathmaker here. And, I mean, I guess we're just blue-red. Now I wish I would have taken Kitza, obviously, but hindsight's 20/20 for sure. Collectors probably aren't going to be the greatest in blue-red. Everything else seems fine, though. The Calamitous Tide, a little expensive, but, I mean, it could do some work. Oop, what is going on? All right, Valley Rally, no. I could take another Dazzling Denial, maybe, but I think I would like access to a Mind Spiral in a blue-red deck. Get some card draw in here. Seems pretty good. We haven't seen any Take Out the Trashes or the 4 mana blue removal spell yet, so we're going to have to hope we can get at least a couple of those. Mockingbird more kind of goes over here. Also have to make sure we just get enough instants and sorceries that, you know, cards like Eddie Merc Crab and I guess, and the Kindlespark Duo actually like do things. But we've got plenty of picks to make that happen. This will be my first attempt at blue-red. I don't have high hopes for it, but I'm willing to try out a couple of different things. Well, yeah, this is the only card we can play, and it's horrible in blue-red. That's interesting. I don't know how that happened. We took all of the red cards in pack 1, and there are no red cards here by pick 5. But other good cards. I think we're just too deep to be able to switch. Yeah, now there's blue and red cards. Maybe it was just a weird pack. Conduct Electricity, I mean, it's fine if you need to play 1. I don't think Formation, Valley Rally. a second Calamitous Tide are really what we want here. So we'll take that. That's a late Intrepid Rabbit. Pick 7. I just don't like any of these other cards. 4 mana, 3/3 Menace Reach. For aggressive decks, I guess I take a second Conduct Electricity and... yeah, Runaway Together, Splash, Lasher. Gives you a little bit of tempo. What is Runaway Together good with? Not much. Pathmaker, kind of. Okay, got the Tempest Angler back. There's another Conduct Electricity. I don't need 3 of those, though. Also don't need a Lily Pad Village or a second Waterspout Warden, but I'll cut it anyway. The village lands have just not been very good at all. Nothing here. There's the third electricity if we wanted it anyway. All right, we're going to have to hope we find something good in pack 3, because we're not really where I want to be right now. Well, we've got a Shoreline Looter to loot and draw cards, a Starfall Invocation as a board wipe. I just don't think we can really splash a double white card here. There is just an Agate Assault. Shore Up to protect our 11 creatures. Not great. We didn't wheel the last one. We're probably not wheeling this one. I think I'm just going to take the Agate Assault and hope to wheel Shore Up or the Looter, maybe. It's about the best I can do here. All right, Harnesser of Storms. 3 mana, 1/4. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell or otter spell, you may exile the top card of your library until end of turn. You may play that card. Only triggers once per turn. Well, that's what we need here. There's really nothing else we can play. So that works really well in our deck. We will go ahead and take that. Pearl of Wisdom. 3 mana, draw 2. Cost 1 less to cast if you control an otter, of which we do currently have 6. So we'll be taking this here. Not really passing up on anything else for our deck. And I mean, we have playables, I guess. The infamous Cruel Claw. This card is so good. Can we splash it? We do have a Fountain Port Bell. There's also a Sazakap's Brew and a Tempest Angler. Both of these are also quite good. I don't think we can splash this. We don't have any fixing. And it just ruins the consistency of our deck. I'm going to take the Sazakap's Brew. No, we have enough card draw. We've got Mind Spiral and Pearl of Wisdom. Let's take the Tempest Angler here as another otter that triggers off of our currently 12 instants and sorceries. There's a Take Out the Trash. Finally got a removal spell. Needed that desperately. Another one would be great, but I won't be picky. Even another Dazzling Denial's not horrible. Another Kindlespark Duo, Runaway Together, Tempest Angler, number 3. Got a lot of 3-drops in this deck. I think I'll take another Duo over a third Angler here. And yeah, I mean we've got a blue-red deck, and it's gonna be as most blue-red decks are in this format, I would imagine. A third Agate Assault or a second Counterspell. Let's take the second Counterspell. This might not be a horrible Wildfire Howl deck, but I think that's just more of a sideboard card. Alright, Sugarcoat turns things into food. Dire Downdraft was the removal spell I wanted at least one of here. A couple Chargers and a Might of the Meek. But this is an instant or sorcery to trigger all of our otter stuff. I guess these trigger off non-creature, but yeah. Okay, got the Shore Up. Don't know if I'll play it, but I'll decide here in deck building. Probably don't need 3 of these. Don't think I'm playing anything here. Gonna have to make some cuts. That's actually a decent spot to be in. In a blue-red deck. Brazen Collectors might just have to be like blockers, like early blockers for us. We don't have a lot of 2s. We have a ton of 3s. I have to get rid of some 3s. But they're like the best cards in our deck. Okay, another Pathmaker. I mean, I guess I could play that. Still a few cuts to make. So I'm going to go ahead and make those cuts. About 4 or 5 cards here. And then I will see you after deck building. Alright, here's where I ended up after deck building. We've got just, what do we have? 12 creatures, 8 of which are otters here. 2 Hearthborn Battlers for a little bit of just extra damage to the face. Harnesser of Storms, Duo, Angler, Eddy Merc Crab, all synergize with all of the non-creature spells we have. We've got 2 counter spells here. 3 removal spells, Agate Assault, take out the trash, and I guess Rabid Gnaw is another one. And our downdraft is removal, card draw, Pearl of Wisdom, and Mind Spiral, Calamitous Tide. And 1 way to protect our creatures as well. I am not thrilled about this. We don't have any 2s. I cut the 2/1 first strikes. They just don't really do what we're going for. Our 2s are going to be Dazzling Denials and countering their 2s. That's really all we're going to be able to do. And card draw. We're going to have to hope that we can win with card advantage. And that's how this is going to go. Not thrilled about it. Don't like blue-red, but we kind of got pushed into it. I think black-red could have worked out if I had forced it, but I just don't think it was worth forcing if I didn't know it was open. So it's going to be a tough one. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to do the best I can for all of you and for myself as well. So before we get into the first game, don't forget about the sponsor of today's video and of the channel, W Energy, which is a 0-calorie, 0-sugar energy drink. If you head over to w.gg and use code DailyDraft, you can get 10% off all of your purchases if you are in the market for a new energy drink substitute for whatever you got going on in your life. It's pretty good. I use it myself. Thanks for your consideration on that, and I'll see you in game number 1. Here we are going first, and we do have a counter for their 2-drop. So we're going to hope that goes the distance, and then I guess play Battler on 3 and start getting the beats on. Pathmaker on 4, if we can find a land here. There we go. So if they start double spelling, they're going to start taking some damage here. Mind Whisker. It's a good one. Do I want to trade the Battler for the Mind Whisker? I think I'd honestly be fine with that. I don't think they do, though. Yeah, I didn't think. So we'll play the Pathmaker, and then until the end of our next turn, we have 2 mana draw 2. Hopefully they don't kill the Pathmaker, because then that would make this cost 3. Which would be a little annoying. Vren. That's a good card. So, if one of my creatures dies, gets exiled, and then at the beginning of each end step, they make a 1/1 rat that gets bigger for all their other rats, too. So, that's a good one, and it's got Ward 2 as well. So I can't cast Dire Downdraft on it, so... Doesn't have, like, First Strike or anything, does it? No. Okay, so we'll attack here. And then I guess to play Tempest Angler and deal 2 more damage to them. Now, next turn... We can't do both of these. Dire Downdraft can't target that unless it's the only spell we cast, which might be worth it, but we'll see. Okay, surveilled 2 lands into the bin. And I think what we do here is we attack with the Pathmaker and then downdraft Vren when they block with their Light Shell Duo. That's what I think they'll be doing here. I could play my own Pathmaker, but I mean, I probably want to get more creatures down here. Yeah, let's play our own Pathmaker here. And then no attacks. And we're starting to flood a little bit, but Vren, if we can't deal with that, is going to start to take over the game here. Gosh. Well, they get Thoughtseize us here now. Okay, got rid of our removal spell. Calamitous Tide. Well, next turn we can cast this on Vren and another creature and pay the ward, which would be quite good. So let's do this. We'll play a land. And next turn we'll plan on casting Tide on Vren and something else. Okay, got rid of a Jackdaw Savior. Interesting. What do they got going on? They got tons of cards. I'm sure they could kill something here. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we gotta go for it and see if they have the counter. Auto pay the ward. Do they have the same counterspell we had earlier? Where did that go? Didn't I use that? Oh, Dazzling Denial. There it is. They had the Dazzling Denial? Okay, kill the Tempest Angler. Sure. Draw 2. Discard the mountain you know about. And then get on in. Take 8. Unfortunately, Take Out the Trash can't deal with either of these, but it looks like they didn't have the answer. Alright. We beat Vren with the blue-red deck. Let's go. Look at this Dazzling Denial just doing work in this hand. Looks like we're going to be able to counter their 3-drop, hopefully. And then Pearl of Wisdom to refill the hand, I guess. Don't have any creatures yet, so... Don't land a good 2-drop, please. Nice. Alright, well we will counter pretty much whatever they play here, including a Mind Whisker. And I don't have anything else to do, so let's draw 2 cards. Alright, they're doing the same. Most mana efficient thing now is Pathmaker, so we'll play Pathmaker into another Pathmaker next turn, I guess. Card draw for the win. Alright, what do you got? Got a counterspell here? Ooh, okay, so if I leave it on top, I'm going to hit it with this Pathmaker. I mean, that seems fine, I guess. And then we'll play a land and hold up shore up here. Sure. I'm fine not using shore up on this. It gets a couple stun counters, but I think we'll be alright with that. Yeah, all of the lands. I know. Calamitous Tide. Alright. I guess we're bouncing 2 creatures next turn. Oh, they're gonna blink here. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll let that resolve. My turn. More lands. So I want this one. I probably don't want to let them recast Splash Lasher. So let's just bounce this thing then. Get rid of the mountain, play the island, and pass. We've got a ton of gas here. Just, I mean, I guess we have the time to cast it. I mean, we're at 15 kind of right now. They have 3 mana lock down a creature for as long as they want it. Hopefully they forget to attack first. They did not do that. Alright, sure. Hit me for 4 and then blink it and then lock my stuff down. Okay, it gets locked down. I could use shore up to not get the counter. I just don't think that's worth it. Oh my. That's a lot of damage. One, two, three. I mean, I guess I should have attacked first. That's something I don't do. I'm not great at here. We'll hold up, take out the trash, and shore up if they go to remove one of the battlers or something. Okay. We will attempt to shore it up. Let's see what they do about that. Casting another spell cost them 4 life, notably. I don't have great blocks right now. I wouldn't block with either of these things, but I do have a way to deal 4 to them with 2 spells on their turn, next turn. Is that also 2 spells on my turn this turn? Let's see. 9 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Darn. So close. Alright, let's do... Let's try this, see what happens here. Run away together. Sure. Alright, deal 4 to you. And I guess that's lethal. There we go. All right, double Hearthborn Battler on the battlefield at the same time. We are up first, and boy, do we have every single expensive card in our entire deck. I guess 2 more lands we can hit a Pathmaker. We got some more 2-drops as far as like counter spells we can draw. This could go horribly wrong. But now we have counter and removal. Yeah, I'll counter it because that gets them an ETB trigger that I don't really want them to have. This can kill something once it enters the battlefield here. Yeah, that's something I think I would like to attempt to kill. That card is very good. Can't be blocked. Like, shuts down all your stuff and can't be blocked. Makes them things that don't matter anymore. Speaking of don't matter anymore, that's pretty much this game. We're at the point where we've missed our 3rd land too many turns in a row. Another land does let us play Pathmaker, which could hopefully let us get off to a good start, or like a words. Let us get off to a nice little snowballing. That's the thing I was thinking. I mean, you can snowball into more lands, into more spells, but they're playing a bunch of flyers. I can't really block any of those. I guess we cast Dire Downdraft on the Plume-Creed Mentor. Don't really have anything else I can do. Okay, more flyers. I think this one will be a quick one. Don't have anything else to do, so go ahead and don't get your 3/3. Hey, it's a creature that can't block. Looks like they now have Shore Up. Or the bounce spell that like bounces a creature or something. I mean, there's really nothing I can draw here. Like, I guess if I draw an island, like Eddie Crab buys me like an extra turn. There's more flyers. Yeah, that doesn't have reach or anything, does it? Alright, well that was a fun game. Starting on the draw this time, this hand is relying a lot on Harnesser of Storms here. And as the first creature in our hand, it's probably going to die. But at least we have 4 lands this time. Something we couldn't say by the end of the last game. So, sure. Alright, that's not something I need to Agate Assault here. So, I just have to hope this survives, basically. I don't really have anything else. Okay, obviously can't block whatever combat trick they've got going on here. Okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not super aggressive, so at least there's that. That's less fine. Oh, that was dumb. I shouldn't have played that land. Because now I'm going to do Rabid Gnaw so this thing doesn't get out of control, and I'm going to hit a land. Instead I hit a counter spell that I can't cast. Next to combat, no attacks. I could draw 2 cards, but I'm just going to hold up the Dazzling Denial here and try to counter unless they pay 2. I don't have a bird. This doesn't tap for mana, does it? No. Well, I can't... I mean, whatever combat trick they have isn't going to... The Dazzling Denial is not going to counter it, so... I guess I let them hit me. Are they going to get rid of the Harnesser here for 5 mana? Looks like it. Okay. So it looks like it's not +1/+3. Otherwise they would have been getting priority there. I think I am willing to trade the Pathmaker for the combat trick though. So whatever they've got at this point, the Pathmaker already got me its value. So I'll let this thing trade for a trick. Even though it does make Pearl of Wisdom more expensive. Sure. What do you got? There it is. I'm less cool with that trick, if we're being honest. That gets rid of my creature while adding a 4/2 to their board. I do not like that. So could they have something else? They attacked 6, 7. I mean, I kind of need Pearl of Wisdom to cost 2 at this point. I'm missing land drops and all sorts of things. I need to be able to cast Pearl of Wisdom, hit a land, and cast Agate Assault here. It's basically my only, like, good play. And if the duo dies, still it's not great. They have some sort of other trick they've got. More tricks. They had another ambusher maybe? I don't even know. Okay, more lands. Okay, we did hit an island here, so I have to get rid of their expensive stuff. Or their big powered creatures. Now, do I card draw or do I hold up a counterspell? Gosh, this counterspell's really not doing much. I don't think this is gonna do much for me. So I guess I just draw a card. Or draw 2 cards here. And block, and then eat their combat trick of whatever they got. Block their sentries, and then whatever combat trick they have, just get it out of their hand here. Next turn I have 6 mana. I can Mockingbird something. Okay, go to 6. Maybe they were just bluffing the whole time. If so, good for them. Because it worked. Yeah, this Dazzling Denial is doing stone cold nothing here. Okay, I think I'm gonna try to Agate Assault and then hold up Dire Downdraft, I guess. I could Pathmaker and hold up Dazzling Denial, but like I said, this isn't doing anything. They've got 2 cards in hand and 8 mana. This needs to be looted away somehow. So I guess I attempt to Agate Assault here. What do I get rid of? Probably the Baker's Bane duo. It has the ability to get big enough to attack through my Kindle Spark. And then I'll downdraft their sentries, which isn't the greatest use of Dire Downdraft, but I mean, I could Mockingbird and copy Clifftop Lookout. I could also Mockingbird and copy Kindlespark Duo. But if they kill the duo, it comes in as a 1/1 flyer, which is not great. Would I rather guarantee another land here and get a 1/2? I mean, the 1/2 blocks this and the 1/3 blocks that. And then next turn I have 7 mana, which lets me play Downdraft and Pathmaker. Okay. Would I rather another duo or a lookout here? Like I said, I think it's worse if I... No, they don't have a window to copy this anymore. Or to kill this anymore. Yeah, let's do this then, because it's just going to enter. Forgot that's how that worked. They don't have the window. Why does this have Defender? That's kind of weird. Polywallop, maybe? Early winter. Okay. Chose not to crack their Heaped Harvest and get another land for some reason. I guess they want to use it for foraging, I would think. Alright, go to 2. Nope, go to... Yeah, go to 2. Alright, gotta play our creature here. We do have a land no matter what to play the downdraft. I'm going to play that next turn. Because if I draw a land, I can play that and then Mind Spiral. I would rather use Downdraft right now. Because if they have removal for Pathmaker, which it looks like they do. Okay, that resolves. I block Clifftop Lookout and then downdraft the sentries, I guess. Yeah, I think I don't want to put myself dead to a Clifftop Lookout, so I'm going to keep myself at 2 here. Play Battler and then Mind Spiral. I'm not going to lock that down. Calamitous Tide wouldn't be horrible. That would let me loot away this Dazzling Denial here. That's what they were doing. They were waiting to find another way to forage for their Heaped Harvest. Let's see if they drew removal. They drew a trick. No? Yeah, I mean, I have to block it, because if it's any sort of pump trick... Thoughtstalker Warlock, I discard a card? I mean, I guess I'll get rid of that. A land is probably more useful. Maybe not. Now that we drew another? I don't know. That thing has Menace as well, so we're technically just dead right now, actually, now that I realize it. So if they attack with both, we are dead. And they did do that. So good for them. Alright. Yeah, we just didn't really draw our creatures that game. Didn't go very well. We are up first. We have both counter spells. Hope we hit a 2-drop, and then we can hit at least a 4 or 5 is the ideal scenario, so it doesn't die in our hand like last game. Don't know which to play on 3 here. It's a tough decision. Alright, we did, in fact, hit the Pawn Prophet. Now... I think I'm going to get the duo down. That could be wrong, but... I don't know. Okay, no play. I guess I'll just play an Angler now. They have a counterspell? Looks like it. We have all of the removal in the world. And none of the cards. Alright, let's see if this gets countered. I kind of have to cast it. Looks like it will. Oh no, okay, well, I don't think I want to draw it anymore. Ooh, missed land drops. Gotta love it. I'd rather hold up, take up the trash, and Dazzling Denial than play a random Harnesser of Storms here, especially when they have all their mana up, so I'll just pass. Okay. I guess now I'll play this. Pass the turn, they'll move to kill it, and then... Nope, they're not doing a single thing. As Dazzling Denial gets worse and worse and worse. Nothing. Okay. My guess is they have Eddy Merc Crab. Let's see. There it is. And Dazzling Denial does in fact not work on it. So that resolves. Pond Prophet. Can't do anything about that. Banishing Light, getting around Dazzling Denial here. Can't do anything about that. They're just playing around this like a champ. Okay, I guess we have to see if they have... I don't want to bounce this. They're just going to replay it. But I do get to loot my hand here. I guess just 6 mana bounce a creature. Actually, just 6 mana get countered. That's all it is. Okay. Ooh. Landed and top decked, I assume. Their Planeswalker. And now when I'm tapped out of Dazzling Denial, they will now play their next spell. No? Okay. I think this needs to die. So I'll kill that. They didn't have anything. So can I get rid of Eddie Mercrab now? They didn't have any sort of counter to that. Okay, good. Alright, we got rid of their 5/5. Stuck with another denial in hand, though. Just like last game. And then Palm Prophet. At least they have to go to 7 here. Alright, Denial's just not gonna do anything, so... I'm not gonna try to hold it up. Can we get over the hump here? We need some good top decks. We can't really do it with a couple of lands off the top, I don't think. We are not exactly... Alright, so they're going to have a way to blink this. A splash portal, maybe? No? Okay, there's a land. Another Eddie Mercrab. Playing around Dazzling Denial once again. Now I have to take 9. And I think we are probably dead. So we started off 2-0 and finish 2-3 with the worst deck in the format here. Kind of expected. I said I didn't really want to be in this deck, but here we are. Start with another Pathmaker, I guess. Hit Dire Downdraft on... It doesn't really matter. I mean... I can wait till my next turn, I guess, but... if I cast this now, it deals 2 damage to them, which could matter. Yeah, that probably does matter. Bloom Creed Escort. Resolves. Take 4. Block the other 3. And chump, 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 assuming they don't have removal. Which they have a way to give flying, so good for them. Alright, 2 and 3 with blue-red. We had a bunch of rares, we had a bunch of card advantage. The cards just aren't good. I mean, the deck is just the worst deck in the format for a reason. So, hopefully we don't get pushed into this deck anymore. I mean, there's probably not a reason to get into it at this point. We were lacking the 2s. I don't know what 2s in blue-red really would have, like, saved this deck necessarily. Pathmakers were good. We just didn't have the time to cast 4-mana 4/2s, you know? Only had 1 take out the trash. Denials were horrible, especially when you play against good players like that last player who was playing around it the whole game. And Battlers didn't really do their job in this deck and ended up with a 2-3. So that's where we end up with blue-red. Thanks for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.